So what we have here is pork chops. You want to make sure that your pork chops are fully washed and dried. And when I say washed, I mean water only. You just want to make sure all that extra gristle is off of the bone and the slimy stuff is off of the meat. So you just want to give it a good rub. Right now I'm going to add some onion powder. You're just going to want to cover it fully. Now we have black pepper. And like I said, you just want to cover the meat fully. You want to make sure every bite has flavor in it. Now we're going to go ahead and add some paprika. There's several different kinds of paprika out there. This one is just a normal one, but you can get smoked. There's some paprika that actually adds a little bit of spice to it. This one, like I said, is just a normal. And I love it because it gives it a really pretty color on the meat too. Then we got some California garlic. I'm pretty sure I got this garlic from Trader Joe's. Any garlic would do. And we love garlic, so I'm a little heavy-handed with that. And just make sure all your meat is covered with every seasoning you use. Now this is the go right here. This is the Creole Seasoning. I love this stuff so much. It adds just that extra kick of flavor. It's so tasty. You don't need that much on there. And here I'm going to go ahead and use my hands to put all the flavor in that meat. You just want to tap it down, get it all in there, and that is what it looks like. Then we're going to flip it over and do the same exact thing to the other side. Every single spice that I used before will be used on the back side. Making sure every spot of the meat is covered. Like I said, you want all the flavor with every bite you take. Doesn't matter how generous you are, or if there's one flavor you like more than anything, then you can be a little bit more heavy-handed. But you're going to go ahead and tap it in again on the other side. And I was getting all the flavor off of the cutting board and putting it on the sides of the meat, so you never want to miss anything. But now we have mashed potatoes. Those mashed potatoes are fresh out the pot. Throw in some butter in there. Surprise visit from my Ava Way. She loves to be in the kitchen with me. But we're just throwing these mashed potatoes together. This is the first process, is just making them not chunky anymore, making them smooth. Throw some butter in there. You got to do it while it's hot. I feel like that's the trick for me, is while it's hot, it's better. Threw some more butter in there. That butter was actually been out on the counter, so it was melted. I feel like the melted butter works a little bit better than the cold butter. And you just want to mix it up. As you can see, the butter is making the consistency of the potatoes change. Then we're going to throw some sour cream. I love the packet of sour cream like this. You do want to make sure you mix it up in that package before you just go ahead and squirt it in the bowl, or else you'll just get watery sour cream. So that's what I was doing there. I added just a little bit more sour cream, a little bit more butter, mixing that all up. And now we're going to add just some pink Himalayan salt. This is my favorite salt that I love to use. And some pepper. And it's all to taste. This is some garlic. Just a little bit, depends on how much you love garlic. You're going to go ahead and put all those flavors in there, mix it all up. We're going to have a little taste. Nope, it's not it yet. We're going to add some more pink salt, some more pepper, mix it up in there. The flavor just wasn't right yet, and you gotta remember to taste in between so you can get it exactly the way that you want it, the way that you want it to taste. Make sure you mix from the middle, then to the outside. It does make a difference, and that's it. We got the mashed potatoes are done. Now we're gonna go ahead and pop over back to the pork chops. They've been sitting in their spices for a while. You want to make sure that your cast iron skillet is hot. I did turn the sound down so you really couldn't hear the sizzle, but the cast iron was on there for a while. It was nice and heated. I did add some bacon grease to the bottom of that cast iron skillet to give it a little extra flavor for the pork chops. And in that far skillet, as you can see, I used some coconut oil in the little one. Then I'm going to go ahead and throw the onions in the little skillet while the pork chops are just sitting there doing their magic. We're going to throw in some garlic. Like I said, we love garlic. And going to let that saute over there in the corner. Time to turn the pork chops. They're looking really good. Browning up pretty well. I'm just trying to make sure that that meat is cooking evenly because it will like turn and flop on you, so you just gotta make sure all the pieces are getting cooked evenly. And in that far skillet, I'm doing some spinach. There's some spinach in there, letting it cook down and adding more into there, and that's the finished product. And this is the finished product of the pork chops. So I'm just cutting it for you to see what it looks like on the inside. Some people feel like they have to like cook pork chops to the death. That's how you dry them out. They're not very yummy, super chewy if you cook them too long. But you do want to cook them long enough so they're not pink and they're not raw, because you can't have the raw pork, of course. So this is just me cutting up some pieces for the babes. And for you guys also to see on the inside that pork chop is flavorful, it's juicy, it's cooked all the way through. There's some good fat pieces in there. It is just actually making my mouth water, and I don't even eat meat, so I'm happy with that outcome. Now we're going to go ahead and plate everything. This is the final product. I'm going to put some mashed potatoes on there. You can put them on there however much you like. This is for the hubby. I know he likes potatoes, so he got a little heavy portion. We're going to go ahead and put the spinach on the plate now. He really loves that too. So we're going to be generous with the spinach. Get some onions in there. And those onions were cooked a little bit longer than the spinach just to give them extra flavor, get them browned, and that actually puts more flavor in it. Here's the finished product of the pork chops. So what the thing is to cover it with foil once you're done with the meat, because you want your meat to rest, and that's where all that juice comes from. My husband loves the juice, so I made sure to leave the juice on that pork chop, and that is the finished product. Cleaning off the plate a little bit, but we are all done. Ta-da! And now it goes to the hubsters. I gave him some of those cut up pieces that I cut up earlier because he wanted extra meat. And the delivery has been done, and he's a happy man.